turn the page. I turn the page, turn the page. In this book of life, I turn the page.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching another edition of Shinjaku Games. I have a question for y'all. Where's the love, man? All I'm hearing is just all type of hate, and what do y'all even like? Do you like seeing something that's different than you? Or you just enjoy medium where you feel safe? I don't know. I just don't get it, because when I think back where I was raised and where I came up, I was always open to things that are different than what I am and who I am. It was pretty clear that, I am an African American. You can tell by my voice, or if it surprised you, I'm sorry, or okay. It's not much I can say. Back in the 80s where I was raised, I watched a lot of media where it wasn't much representation for black people back then, and it still reigns today. It's not really a lot. My heroes didn't look like me at all at the time. When I was a kid, Superman, I guess he was like everybody's first hero. I remember watching the Christopher Reeves Superman movies back then. They kind of trained me to watch the MCU movies now, but I was watching those, and I think they might have had one black person on there, Richard Pryor, and he was a joke character. But I remember that the part when that woman turned into a robot, nightmare fuel. I can see it now. Ugh. That was the movies, but on TV, that was Wonder Woman, Bionic Woman, Great American Hero. I watched a lot of Kung Fu flicks, and I watched the A-Team. It was probably, of course, you have one black character on there. I wasn't allowed to watch the exploitation films because they had a lot of nudities. Godzilla movies, wasn't really a lot of representation for me, but I was able to see myself in these characters and understand heroism, justice, and just being an all-around good human being. I learned from these characters, and then I got older, I got into Spider-Man. Spider-Man really spoke to me because I like science. He had problems when he was a normal person and when he was in the suit. So I was able to relate. It's the theme here. Why is it so hard to see yourself in something else? Even when that something does not look like you. It comes to these memes, and they always do this meme with Black Panther. They always put a white person in it. It actually doesn't make sense for the character to be white, because there's no white Wakandans, and it takes place in Africa. And a lot of people argue that because whenever they make new characters, they switch the race of the character. I didn't notice no uproar whenever they made Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury. No person said a thing when he was introduced as Nick Fury. Not a word. What if that happened today? What if they introduced Nick Fury and said he was played by Samuel Jackson? The grifters will be up in the uproar now. I am drawn to things that are different from what I see. Yes, you do feel comfortable with what you're normal to. That's common, but I'm not afraid of things that are different from me. I'm not. It's intriguing. And what's crazy is when it comes to wild animals and characters in horror movies that want to investigate noises, you're intrigued then. You're intrigued when it comes to danger. That's how comfortable you are. When it comes to something that's different, you want to go investigate that strange noise that's coming from the closet, or you want to go pet this wild animal. But accepting someone of a different color and race than you is a problem. I don't know. Some things is funny to me. You remember G.I. Joe? They did have black people on the show, Roadblock, and to me, it felt like Snake Eyes was black. At one point, he was breakdancing. I said, what is he breakdancing for? Well, he was breakdancing. But to me, it felt like Snake Eyes was black. But he wasn't, but he was black. When I had the G.I. Joe toys, he was a brother. But you see that I had to find myself into the character. When it comes to representation, it's not a lot of representation for people of color. It's not. And when we finally get that in the Black Panthers and all different types of shows, it's a problem. Even when it comes to medieval, and it's been proven that there was black people back then. They were called Moors. They were back then. And so it's not really odd. You can see a whole dragon a Hydra, a Minotaur, but a black person with elf ears, you can't see that? That's a problem? When it comes to like a village, I imagine all different types of shades of people, different languages being spoken. Variety it makes the picture look better to me. You gonna paint a picture with just one shade of color? I don't really get that. I don't see what the problem is. Maybe because is it my perspective? I'm gonna always paint my picture with different colors. It looks better. When you look at better flowers, it's all different colors, different shapes, different types of flowers as well. When people eat gummy bears and Skittles, do they put all the green with the green and red with the red and purple with the purple? I don't know. Or you just pour them in your hand and eat them. I don't know. And the things people complain about. For example, like some people are in the uproar that they watched season 2 of Last of Us and they saw a couple kissing. And I remember when dudes used to think lesbians were hot. I don't know, when did that change? But anyway, they were complaining about that. It's like, did you play the game at all? This is a retelling. This happened in the second game. And in the first game, you knew she had the hots for another girl. Why are you surprised? It's like, do you even know the medium? Do you even know what happened in the game and you're complaining about it? Or you're new to it and then you want to find another thing to complain about? It's like, it's really dumb. If you play the first game, you should already know she's like this. It's not new. None of this is new. I can see heroism if the character is a woman. I can enjoy a female hero. That's not a bad thing. I think my mother is a hero. All the things she endured in life. So me seeing a woman take lead is not an odd thing to me. There's countries where there are already female presidents, ambassadors, running the whole country. No problem. Maybe a woman's touch is what America needs, because they are not doing a good job. Anyway, it's not hard for me to see a strong female character. Turning her into a damsel in distress mid-story, I don't like that. But then that's just constructive criticism. I don't say I just don't like it, and I don't like it because of what it is. I don't like women leading. I don't know why do you speak with so absolutes. Everything's a DEI. How is a written character in the story DEI? How? I wrote the story. I wrote it. So the character I made up in my story, or see, because the people that make these stories are still a part of it. They either get their blessing from the creator, or they're a part of it. I can't wait for people to complain about One Piece when it gets to season 2. No one said nothing in season 1. They're going to complain about it when they come back. It's like they pick something every week to complain about. How miserable is your life? You do not enjoy anything? Not one thing. They said X-Men was woke. Did you live under a rock? The whole theme of X-Men was inspired by the civil rights movement. That is common knowledge. It seems it's really hard to share these stories with people when there's people that are just, they wake up miserable and they want to make everybody feel miserable just like them. I just don't get it. It's like, I enjoy these stories. Yes, if they change a character, no, it don't matter long as that character is well written and it doesn't change how the story is. In some aspects of it, it adds more dimension to it. For example, you remember Blade, right? With Wesley Snipes. You remember the white guy, the old white guy, Whistler? That was a race switch. Whistler is supposed to be a black guy. Did you know that? No. Does it mess up the story? No. No one's raving about that. I don't think anyone cared about that. Wesley Snipes is the GOAT. Blade is a goated movie. And it brought Marvel back on the map. Now people complain about Miles. Oh, DEI, Miles. There's a thing called legacy characters. Do you know what a legacy character is? A legacy character is when a mantle is passed down. Peter Parker in Miles's universe was killed, so Miles became Spider-Man of that universe. The web slingers that he used are Peter Parker's. Steve Rogers passed the mantle to Sam Wilson, being the Captain America. Even in Endgame, if people complaining about the new Captain America, I'm like, Did you see what happened at the end of Endgame when elderly Steve Rogers passed the shield to Sam? He literally handed it to him. He held it and he said, "It feels like it's not mine." And Rogers said it is. You can Google this scene. You probably got the DVD or Blu-ray in your house. Watch it. You have all this evidence. Why are you surprised? Sam Wilson is the current Captain America. It's like they don't watch the medium. You don't pay attention to how the story is moving. It's coherent. It moves. It moves. It don't stay the same. And just because you don't like it, that don't mean they need to dislike it too.
My life. This is my life. It's mine to own. This is my life. Blessed with the microphone. This is my life. You need to get yours. This is my life. Death's gonna knock at your door. This is my life. I got so much to give.